Alright, Transformers 4, Age of Extinction, or Age of Michael Bay. It's not bad. Yeah, it's Transformers. It's silly, it's stupid, it's all over the place, but it ain't bad, actually, this one. It set place a few years after the third film, and no Shia LaBeouf. Thank God. Thank God for no Shia LaBeouf. That was a good thing. That centers on Mark Wahlberg, who's an inventor, a really, really smart inventor, actually. He builds all this, like, almost Iron Man-like stuff. All these robots that do things. And he's just trying to, make some money so he can put his daughter through college. That's not bad. And there are some decent bits between them, so there's that. That's good. Anyways, one day he gets it. Well, it's probably lost track there. Anyways, we get a little more insight into the world after Chicago happened. Kelsey Grammer, our main villain for this film, well, he doesn't like Transformers very much. Doesn't matter which side they're on, he just doesn't like them very much. So, he's been dedicating the last few years to hunting them down. Autobot, Decepticon, he doesn't care. But to make matters worse, he's actually working with a Transformer, not an Autobot or a Decepticon, more like a freelancer or like a bounty hunter, Lockdown, who's pretty cool. He has a giant ship that holds all his prisoners and stuff, and he's after Optimus Prime. Someone has put a bounty on Prime's head, so there's that. So Mark Wahlberg gets this truck unknowingly knowing it's Optimus Prime. And he fixes it up, and what do you know? It's Optimus Prime. He starts repairing him. Kelsey Grammer finds the truck and Mark Wahlberg, and our film sets into motion. Now that all takes about 30, 40 minutes maybe, so a bit lengthy. This film is very lengthy. It's 2 hours, 40 minutes, or just under, or just over, I think. It's lengthy, so does it need to be that long? Not really, but I don't really care. Anyways, Stanley Tucci's also in the film, and well, he is the greatest Transformer fan. He is the biggest Transformer fan in the world. He has now figured out what they're made of and how to use that technology into a modern day use. It's called Transfortonium or something. It's basically what they're made out of. There's a great scene where he just takes it, like a little ball made of this stuff. He transforms it around, becomes a speaker, becomes a gun. He can do whatever he wants with it. So he decides to make his own Transformers, based off some of the dead Decepticons he was able to find, including Megatron, and creates Galvatron. Okay, complaint number one. Galvatron is useless in the film. This would have been great for some, great things between, him coming back from the dead, stuff like that. And him and Optimus have just one fight in the entire movie, and I was like, oh. And it's a shame, because I was like, when I saw that Galvatron was in the film and what he was going to look like, I thought, oh man, this is going to be great. And just the two just going at it again. So he built these Transformers, and they're seemingly under his control. But bad things happen, and they kind of go haywire. One of them also is Stinger, who becomes sort of like a rival to Bumblebee, which actually gets some good bits here and there. So there's that. We get some neat Autobots. One's played by John Goodman named Hound, who looks like John Goodman. One I think is Prowl. I think his name is Prowl. I don't know. He's played by Ken Watanabe. It's very obvious that they're clearly played by them. Ken Watanabe's character is like a samurai-esque character. He's got swords and stuff. Who else is there? Then there's Bumblebee, he doesn't have the central role anymore, and he's sort of mocked at as being sort of the kid of the Autobots. Who else is there? Then there's one other one who's green and has like a cape thing, or looks like a tunic, I don't know. He's kind of cool. And of course, we get them later, the Dinobots. Complaint number 2, the Dinobots are not in the film. Okay, well, the Dinobots are in the film, but they're only in it for 15-20 minutes, which is a bit of a letdown considering I was looking forward to them, so there's that. That's not to say they don't do anything, no. When they show up, they tear up shit. Optimus Prime comes riding on Grimlock like he's like king of the world and just starts tearing up stuff. It's fun. It's great because like the Dinobots don't want to work for the Autobots, but then Optimus challenges Grimlock. Grimlock also has a robot mode, as do the other Dinobots. There's Grimlock, Slag, Swoop. I think this Swoop has 2 heads, and another one that looks like a bit of a smaller T-Rex that has like 8 rows of spikes on his back. So I don't know. So yeah, that's way later in the film. So yeah. So the film's actually not bad, actually. Well, for me at least. I'm gonna like message Bandit Incorporated, and he's gonna be like, "This film's a colossal disaster." Kelsey Grammer is a cool villain, and well, I think that's a bit different. I mean, we never really had a human villain for a Transformer movie. I mean, there was the one in the 3rd film, but seriously, Patrick Dempsey. So yeah, Kelsey Grammer's a good villain. He also has sort of like a right-hand man who also makes a nice villain. Or, you know, like secondary villain. Galvatron's underutilized. The main villain, of course, is Lockdown, and he's pretty cool. He's pretty formidable in fight, and he has, I like this, sort of a simple design. He's just a standard robot. But he transforms into a Lamborghini, so he has an Earth mode. And I do like, you know, that bringing whole, like, the humans working with Transformers again, but not really Autobot or Decepticon, just Bounty Hunter. So there's that. And it feels a bit different than your typical Michael Bay film. I mean, yeah, there's Michael Bay film. There's explosions and useless women, but there seemed to be less on the military hardware side, which felt a bit refreshing for Michael Bay film. I mean, they were in there in his last film, Pain and Gain, but at like the very end of the film, maybe. So there's that. Yeah, it just focuses on the 3 leads, and Mark Wahlberg's daughter Tessa is her boyfriend Shane, I think. He's like Irish, who Mark Wahlberg doesn't like very much. There's some funny things between there. But yeah, I'm not saying this film's like Citizen Kane or anything. No, it's a Transformers movie. It's dumb, it's stupid, but it's awesome to watch. But there are some good things in it. Stanley Tucci's good, Kelsey Grammer's good, Mark Wahlberg does a good job. I mean, he makes Shia LaBeouf look pitiful at this point. I don't know. I mean, it sort of somewhat reboots it in a way, which I think was one plan to do, was to slightly just reboot it. But there is the ending of this film though is kind of neat, and well, yeah, it is a bit of setup, but it also gets neat because every time Lockdown talks to Optimus Prime, he keeps talking about his creator. You were built for a reason, and you've just gone past that reason. So maybe I'm curious. Like a 5th film was announced for like 2016, I think. So maybe the Quintessons will finally be in the film. Which, okay, their origin's weird, but I don't know. Or maybe Unicron. I kept thinking, I want Unicron in one of these films, because he'd be cool. Granted, he's the weirdest thing in the world, or out of the world, I guess, but it'd be cool if Unicron was in it. So yeah, Transformers 4 isn't bad, actually. But who knows, we'll see. It'll make a shit zillion amount of dollars, I bet. The Dinobots themselves are pretty cool. Yeah, they're not in it much, but they kick tail, so. Though they don't have any dialogue. And this would have been perfect if, you know, have Greg Berger play Grimlock again. That'd be cool. But just on a side note, I saw this film in a special IMAX 3D format, but I didn't have to pay for a ticket or anything. My dad knows a guy who got me some free tickets, so that was nice. That was very nice. And I thought, okay, it'll just be people like me. But I got there, I'm looking, these people are like dressed for the ball. I'm thinking like, I came in a Grimlock shirt that said me Grimlock kick butt. And I was with my little brother. Like, my little brother's wearing an Autobot shirt. I'm like, I kept thinking, seeing all these like really just fancy dressed people and just fancy people in general. And I'm like, these people are watching Transformers? But then again, there was a cocktail service before the film, so there's that. So maybe they just came for that. I heard one woman say, it's like, oh, I thought it was never going to end. I thought it was never going to end. It was so bad. No, this film's pretty sweet. It's better than the second and third film, for me at least. But I am being a little, I guess, light on the film because, well, one, I didn't pay for it. I didn't have to pay a cent to see it, which is already sort of good incentive. I don't know. And it's on a nice format, and I got free popcorn and stuff. So I didn't have to pay anything, so I guess that's why I kind of enjoyed it a little more. It is a bit lengthy. I think 20 minutes could have been cut out. Oh, wait, another scene I forgot. There's this absolutely fantastic car chase scene that's not done with any Transformers or anything. It's just with all the human characters. And, well, Michael Bay's a good eye for action comes in handy there. So yeah, it felt different, slightly, in terms of, like, yeah. It doesn't feel as needlessly complicated as before. Like Transformers 2 was just all over the place. They brought back the MacGuffin. If you watch Bandit's Transformer reviews. It's this little thing called the Seed. It basically makes cyber matter, so that's kind of neat. But yeah, I just wish there were more Dinobots, and I wish Galvatron had a better role. And I wish he looked a little more like Galvatron. Like, he looks cool, but I was kind of hoping for some purple. As it stands, I'll give this a nice 7.5 out of 10. It's enjoyable. Better than the last two. In fact, I like it a little more than the first one, even. That's just me. So yeah, I'm being very subjective, but yeah, I'm me, so that's why. So Transformers Age of Extinction. See you later.